random chunk from the archives.
Welcome back. Normal service has been resumed. I'm pleased to say there's only one person I'm going to move off the sofa for, actually, and it's
Yes.
our next guest. I'd like to think if a movie was made about us, that maybe Harrison Ford would play my part.
Diane Keaton might play mine.
Yeah.
Hey.
Anyway, the Hollywood star's done almost that, and he plays a grouchy anchorman in his latest film about an American breakfast TV programme.
Although Mike Pomeroy sitting in your seat, rather good, I felt. Morning Glory is the comedy that shows how a young, ambitious producer tries to turn around a failing breakfast show by taking on rather difficult talent. We're delighted to have Harrison Ford here. You've seen him already in character. Here he is as Harrison Ford.
Thank you.
Nice
Good
to
to
see
be
you.
here. Thank you for having us.
First, though, we're going to take a look at the film.
Who's going to say goodbye?
Oh, doesn't really matter. I mean, Mike, you don't mind if Colleen says goodbye?
Well, who do you
My
think
audience-
the public would rather hear from last? Someone who's won every broadcast award on the face of the planet? Or the former Miss Pacoima?
It's Arizona. In case you're interested, I was Miss Arizona! Well, that's our show for this morning. Welcome to the Daybreak family, Mike. And thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
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 How many is that?
Goodbye.
3 each. Bye.
And we're out.
Fade to black, there we go.
Bye-bye.
It has to be said, we never, ever compete like that on television, ever.
No, well, it's a comedy, you see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, well, we like to think we never compete. Morning, Harrison, and you're here along with Roger Michelle,
Morning,
who
Roger.
is your director as well.
My director, yeah.
Thank you very much, both of you, for coming in.
Pleasure.
So, Mike Pomeroy. We saw a little glimpse of him. Is it
Yeah.
fair to say he's bitter, disgruntled, angry, egotistical? Why so?
I think it's a bit of an understatement. I think he's an ass, really. And it was a lot of fun to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Modelled on anybody in particular in American TV news, or
No, of course not.
They're not listening.
No,
they can't hear you.
There's nobody like that. No, I didn't want to model him on anybody. I wanted to, take advantage of the opportunity to create a character that for me, what was interesting was the relationships between the characters. The character that Diane Keaton plays and the character that Rachel McAdams plays. It's a very interesting relationship between these two people, and it's key to the story, and that's what I really wanted to concentrate on.
Rachel McAdams being the young producer who goes to this failing news program,
Yeah.
tries to turn it around with all her enthusiasm, battling up against the likes of Mike
She
Pomeroy.
takes over this fourth or fifth ratings losing program, and in America these morning shows are even more competitive than they are here and in Europe. And she must up the ratings or everyone gets fired. And to do so, she employs this grouchy, brilliant, old school news guy, a news hound, who doesn't want to make baked Alaska on the screen. And so the film, in a way, extends this debate about what's the balance between fluff and hard news,
Yes, and
which you must face every day.
Oh, and we struggle with every single item.
Indeed.
Here you
We
are,
have our
then.
moments.
Here's Harrison as his character, talking about his hard news career history.
I've won 8 Peabodys, a Pulitzer, 16 Emmys. I was shot through the forearm in Bosnia, pulled Colin Powell from a burning Jeep. I laid a cool washcloth on Mother Teresa's forehead during a cholera epidemic. I had lunch with Dick Cheney.
You're here for the money.
That is correct.
And there's one scene in the film where you're sitting at a table with 3 seasoned American news anchors.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Oh, it was great fun. They were very generous to spend time with us and bring a bit of reality to the screen.
Did they give you any tips, or did they?
It was too late for that. They sensed that, and so they just left me to my own devices. But we basically just sat around waiting for the lighting to be accomplished and told bad jokes.
Sounds fun.
Worst ways to spend your time, I suppose. Roger, is it the film trying to make a? Well, it's not, is it meant to be a comedy, which it is?
Yeah.
Or is it trying to make a point about American television and froth?
Well, it's not. It's not trying. It's not a satire. I mean, breakfast TV is generically a wide target to satirise. It's not trying to be a satire. It is trying to delve into this world and look at it a bit more closely than normal, and to open up this debate, as I said, about how difficult it is to balance news and fluff. I mean, when you read a newspaper, the juxtaposition is always there between the serious story and the kind of silly story, and we take that for granted. But for some reason on morning television, it seems more inappropriate.
Well, when you're reading a
sometimes.
paper, you can turn the pages over very quickly,
and you can make the edit yourself. But you people have to make the link between very, very hard subjects and very
like
soft subjects.
going from a discussion about the death penalty in America to
pigs.
A pig
Pork
farm.
Academy.
To a pig farm.
Indeed.
And you do it brilliantly, but it is hard to do, and sometimes in America that is pushed, the extremes are pushed perhaps even further.
Yeah.
So the film asks some questions about that, but it's a fun film.
How
It's a
much
comedy.
time did you spend in morning news shows? Did you go at all and have a look at it?
Well, you know, I've been a guest on morning news shows over the breadth of my career. Roger had an idea at the beginning that both Diane and I should go to the Anchorman Academy. This
Is there one?
Oh, there is in Los Angeles. There's a school for everything. So we went to this for a short period of time to be coached on how to read a teleprompter, and the very well-meaning and professional people said things like, look into the camera and pretend you're talking to a friend of yours. And after that, we sort of understood that wasn't what Mike Pomeroy was about.
Doesn't have many friends.
No, and he wouldn't, he wouldn't deign to do it that way.
No.
He's so.
Well, there's actually, see, Sean, there's hope for us yet. There's a course we can go
Let's
on
go.
in America. But we'd have to pretend, I'd have to pretend that I had a friend too. Let's have a look at you with your co-star, Diane Keaton. Much more willing to tackle any of the tasks thrown at her.
I see what you're doing. I think it's great. It's exactly what I've been waiting for. So just, sign me up, coach, put me in, whatever you want to call it, all right?
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have any pre-existing conditions?
Are you kidding? Look at me. I'm a rock.
Does a frog open its lips ever?
Kiss it.
How about a big kiss, sucker?
That's wrong.
That was so good. Do it again.
Yeah, mind you, I did once have to wear a sweater made of dog fur.
Yes, he
Dog
did.
hair,
You
didn't
see?
I?
It won't be
yeah.
long before we're both in sumo wrestling outfits to do something about the ratings, maybe. So you spent some time at the Academy, but not very long.
Not very long.
In terms of going
I
around
went to all the shows in New York several
you?
times. Yeah, they were really welcoming to us, and certainly Rachel and I spent a lot of time sitting in their meetings and their control rooms and getting up very early. I mean, I thought I came out of the experience with a lot more respect for the people who run that industry over there.
Well, especially with the
than I
Today Show,
started.
because they feature prominently.
They do,
in your
yeah. I mean, they're all kind of like junkies. They all have their Bradburys out sort of 23 hours a day, and they're desperate to find the story for that morning.
Yeah.
And then by 10 o'clock, it's all over and they have to start again.
I suppose the thing about working on a breakfast programme is it feels like a family, a very dysfunctional family, but it does feel like a family. Was that what it was like as well on the film? Did you all?
Well, Roger did something very smart. He actually built a film studio for us, and so it felt very real. And since everybody was there every day, it did become, a kind of a family atmosphere. Dysfunctional, as you noted in your family, but it was a lot of fun, and I love comedy, and I loved having the opportunity to play this grumpy old guy.
What I love about American television's the staffing levels, because I visited Good Morning America a couple of years ago. 2 studios, 5 cameras, 5 camera operators, 5 camera operators assistants, lighting guys, producers with clipboards, live audience, etc., etc. And you know, Harrison, having walked in here, how many people there are behind the cameras here.
It doesn't seem to be a lot.
And we decided after we'd seen the film, we want a dressing room
One dressing
with
room.
pictures in it and an exotic
Yes.
fruit platter.
So thank you.
You had it in your show?
I did. But
Thank you for bringing us the reality of
Yes.
American television to our
it's a
screens.
pleasure.
And thank you for being my breakfast co-host.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks.
Roger, nice to see
Roger,
you.
thanks.
Thank you.
Morning Glory will be shown in cinemas from next Friday. It is very, very funny, particularly if you work in our job.